So yeah, I mean, there's a possibility of Lebohang Maboe actually joining Sekhukhune United. And if that does happen, let's say if Lebohang Maboe does join Sekhukhune United, and say it does happen, that means that Babina Noko will be stacked with options in that midfield. I mean, already they've got Keletso Makhalwa, they already have got Linda Mtambo, they've got Sipho Mbule, Lesedi Kapinga, they also have this guy Umkhize, Umkhize, the one he's a Sundowns graduate, Umkhize. You know, they're stacked with options in that midfield, man. Sekhukhune United are stacked with options in the midfield. And imagine now you add Lebohang Maboe on loan from Sundowns. That would be crazy. And think about it, Sekhukhune United have actually done so well this season. I mean, they're in 4th place, you know? So that already should tell you something that, no, there's progress from the Limpopo base side. And, you know, back to the whole issue about Lebohang Maboe is that Lebohang Maboe is a world-class player. And we know, like, at the age of 30, he hasn't really seen much regular game time at Lorkop this season. But he hasn't been completely iced out by the technical team. So, like, there is, like, this sort of, like, a potential move to the Betway rivals, you know, which could actually very well be an attempt by the Brazilians to actually secure the player some consistent minutes in a team that does not have, like, let's say, a team that is actually not short of quality midfielders themselves. You know, and I'm talking about Sundowns and both Sekhukhune United. Both teams don't have, like, they're not shorting. They don't have a shortage of quality midfielders in both their clubs, right? Of course, when you look at Sundowns, the midfielders that they have, Mkhulise, Mokoena, obviously Allende, and then obviously Lebohang Maboe. Then you also have Obas. Then you have Rivaldo Kutsie, who's actually a defender, but he can actually play as a midfielder if you convert him very well. So they stacked with quality, right? So remember, Maboe joined Sundowns from Maritzburg United in August 2018 under then coach Pitso Mosimane on the back of an impeccable season in which Maritzburg United, you know, actually finished in the top 8 once again. And he actually finished as their top goal scorer. He was their top goal scorer. At that very same Maritzburg United team is where we also saw players like Fortune Makaringe. We saw players like Spesihle Ndlovu. Remember that team? Even Judas Musiabedi. that guy was a menace. Us Kaiser Chiefs. Judas Musiamedi was a menace, bro. He was a menace. Yeah, and if you want to know how much of a menace Judas Musiamedi was, ask Kaiser Chiefs. They'll tell you. And back to Lebohang Maboe once again, right? So over the years at Mamelodi Sundowns, Maboe has actually been used to playing more as a holding midfielder, in which he has actually found competition to be very stiff. You know, because at Maritzburg, he was more of an attacking midfielder, if you guys can remember very well. And then Fortune Makaringe and Spesihle Ndlovu would play behind. They would play in the number 6 and 8 role, respectively. So added to that, Maboe has actually battled, he has had a long battle with injuries, you know, long-term injuries that has kept him out for, you know, huge periods of time. And it's actually understood that his mature character is part of the reason why Sundowns have been reluctant to release him into a free agent market. You know, so based on my own perspective, right, and how I understand it is that Babina Noko's Sekhukhune United are actually keen to add Maboe to their roster. You know, he will not only be bringing some experience, but he will also add some depth to coach Letlo Siama's side. Ultimately, you know, helping them in their quest to actually secure a CAF inter-club, you know, spot this season, just like last season. You know, they just got dumped out before the group stages. And Maboe has only managed to play like 10 games this season across all competitions that Sundowns have been involved in so far this season. So, and with the majority of those games that he has actually played, he came off the bench. So there is like a big possibility of Maboe actually joining Sekhukhune United, which I think maybe will be a great signing for both, which will actually be a win for both the player and the club, you know. Yeah.